Audio Jungle.
All right, you guys set up and ready?
Audio Jungle.
3, 2, 1, go!
Audio Jungle.
All right, let's see here. Okay. Hopefully people can hear me all right. These aren't working. I'm using my different mic at the moment because the other one seems a little, it's unresponsive. So, yeah. Today we are going to be getting into some frame-by-frame animation. I'm going to be using Adobe Animate, and we'll see if we get over into After Effects. I have some ideas for like compositing what I want to do, but I figured I would go ahead and do, I haven't done like a walk cycle or in this case, I'm going to be doing a run cycle. And so, yeah, I think that's always a good thing to just practice. It's difficult to get it to look right, so it's one of those things you can just like, I don't know, use to brush up on your animation skills. So it's one of the few like tried and true tests, I want to say, between that and the bouncing ball. Yeah, so it never gets old. Let me bring up my chat. Got a few different screens here that I'm working with. Sorry, y'all. Maybe? Okay. Now I see myself. We're live. Oh. Okay. I see in the chat. Everything's here. I always have this like when I start a stream, I'm like, there's always maybe it's the fact that it's like behind a little bit. I'm always like, I don't see any signs of life on this thing. Is it even working, or am I just broadcasting to the void? A run animation. Well, this is going to be interesting. I'm gonna get right into it here. This could go horribly wrong. We'll see. I always like feel confident about something, and then I start it. I'm like, wow, there's a reason people go to school for this, or like there's a reason there's such a specialization in it. I'm kind of a dabbler, I would say, in frame by frame animation, but all right, I had some like little reference that I was going to kind of like cheat off of. I shouldn't have told anyone. I should have just been like, no reference, doing this blind. All right, so I'm on a 16-inch Cintiq today. Poor me, I know. And so I'm sure that my posture will be terrible. I'll try to pay attention to the posture check, but there's no promises. Work on 2s and 3s, absolutely. I'm planning on working on 2s. 3s would be smart. I think I'm gonna do 2s this time. Haven't done stuff in Adobe Animate for a while. Let me make sure I know how to do this. There's that pressure. It took a second. All right, so I know Control B is like your fancy brush tool, and it's reminiscent of the Adobe Fresco brush, like pen tool that's in there. It's not really a pen tool, but it's a brush, a liner, I guess. It's kind of interesting because it like bleeds. It's actually really hard to use in my experience, because like you go for a certain line weight and then like the line weight kind of keeps growing. It's cool for like certain tapered effects, but yeah, animate on 1s, I don't know about that. I don't have that steady of a hand, so it just looks like whatever I'm drawing is just seizuring madly. Oh man, see, now I'm nervous. I have actual animators in the chat. Also, Twisted, it is amazing that you are helping your partner with their thesis. It makes me like slightly resentful that I was like solo endeavor on my thesis, where I just did a series of paintings, but like man, I'm sure with like animation it really, like, if you're trying to get anything done, it would, to just like reach part of your vision, just having like another person would be rad. So that's awesome. Word. I'm also going to be showing off I'm going to try this out here. This is a little plugin called Time Lord. I've talked about it before. It works in animate as well. I'll see if I get any use out of it. It's more helpful if you're going like back and forth between like compositing your stuff in After Effects and like animating. I don't know if it's going to help with my efficiency, like frame by frame. I think for this one I can just go to So I'll make a new layer. Convert. Let's see here. Oh, I think I was, I was going off of, when I usually bring in video to like rotoscope or something, you can just do command where it just creates like the cells kind of automatically. I'm sure there's a way to do that, but alas, I'm just going to go bit by bit here. So I'm trying to think how long I want this run to be overall. Like, so like 2 seconds, like 1 second per foot, like 1,000 to 1,000. Be maybe a little slow. So I think, yeah, I'll try like 1 second, maybe 1.5 seconds. And we'll see. I can always extend it. Just checking the chat. Standard walk cycle is 1 second. I'm just trying to, like, I feel like that would make sense for one like step, but then like for the whole thing, I feel like it would be longer. I feel like having both feet like pass each other in 1 second is like 1,000. I can't count and move my fingers at the same time. Apparently, it's like patting your head and rubbing your belly or whatever. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try 1 second. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll just play back the keyframes, and if it feels slow, then I'll shorten it. Let's extend this layer out. There, so, all right. This is gonna be my little sketchy layer. See if we can get kind of a smaller brush size here. Gonna go real loose on this first bit. So there's like 4 poses. It's like keyframes that I'm going to do first. So it's like kind of your takeoff, like leaping off 1 foot, contacting with like your heel, even though you're not supposed to run on your heels. Pro runner tip. And then like having your legs pass and then like landing down, kind of. I don't know. Let's draw them. It's better on paper. There's this really like nice little animatic that I'm looking at that is very clean, so I'm going to do like a crude re-envisioning. It's kind of in a 3/4 perspective, which I like. It's like another, I feel like I don't even know how to do a run cycle, and then I'm like trying to add complexity to it already. I want it to be lanky. We'll do like kind of a refined pass over. I know people do like so many passes. It's insane. I personally get bored after like 2 passes, so that's usually when I give up and call it a day. Could be using more simple shapes, but sort of want this to end up in my own style. So now it's going to make it harder for myself, but I have to care about it for me to actually bring it to finish. So can't be out here drawing these Playmobil looking. So this would be contact. So it's a pretty brisk pace there, tempo. I know that's what you're supposed to do CPR too, right? Or has that been debunked? I feel like CPR stuff. I shouldn't be giving out CPR info since I haven't been CPR certified like ever. This is gonna get wacky. Like the bottom of a shoe to be showing. You know, like a smaller head. Mess with the proportions here. Small head, big body. It's my mantra in life. Yeah. It's thematic too, right? It's like staying alive. I'm sure there's some like depressing songs that have the same tempo that you could like do it to. That one's very hopeful, which is good. All right. There's a pose. Let's go. Oh man, I have to do math. 24 frames. Okay. I think I have like 4 poses that I have in mind, so 24 divided by 4. Okay, 6. That's easy. Math averted. ahead and just divide every 6 frames to get my kind of like initial big poses down. I do so and this could definitely be solved with some keyframes, but when I'm doing frame by frame in this program, actually, what did I just say? Something I always honestly had a hard time with was just dealing with the timeline and like things like extending the cells and like splitting the cell and like it's all kind of just mapped to the function keys. So it's just like F5 for a new cell, like F6, yada yada. And I think I don't use animate often enough to like remember those every time. So I come back in and always kind of grapple with it. I do like this little extension that now just like, it's very visual. You're just like increase the duration of this cell, split the layer. It's helpful. Yeah, exactly. Back to staying alive. Oh, did someone hydrate me way back when? Yeah. I need to drink some water here. It's probably Todd. Todd's doing it again. There's enough hydrates to go around. Everyone can hydrate. Now I have to drink 3 times. It's the only way I'm allowed to drink. It's the only way Wacom lets me drink water is if the chat lets me. Yeah, I'm not convinced seltzer hydrates me either, because I still get a headache, like if I'm like going to bed and I'm like, man, I'm thirsty. I'll just finish my seltzer and not wake up crazy dehydrated in the morning. It is tasty. It is tasty. Keeps me going. Keeps me entertained. Okay, next up is kind of like foot is vertical. The foot is vertical. The leg is just planted. The foot is planted and like the leg is pretty much straight up and down. I'm using my cheat guide. It's not, well, I'll show you people what I'm looking at. This is what inspired me to do this in the first place, but it's very cute. It's not like at all like anatomical or super like, so I don't know. It's very stylized, right? So I feel okay just working off that, just because like mine is gonna end up crazy different, and I feel like I still have to like interpret and process this and like learn it, even though I'm just using this as a reference. So this is when big shapes would be helpful for that kind of learning process, because you're like, this circle moved this far. I'll try to abstract a little more for myself, for my sanity. This is kind of a square rectangle blob. Where do hand go? Anatomy is overrated. Even though, yeah, I'm still always like, man, I should learn anatomy at some point. But that sounds like a whole endeavor. There's too many things to want to learn. You gotta choose. All right, let's try this. This foot needs to be kind of more this way. Next pose. Yeah, that's a good point. This one's kind of fun. So this is like leg, foot is passing other leg. What is other leg doing? Other leg is back. Trying to get a weird kind of forced perspective, maybe. I guess I could be trying harder. Let me see. Did I do it on the other one? Not really. So I can already tell the way that I'm not drawing this like flat or like from the side perspective. I know my character is going to be doing some weird like hobble like towards people. Just like a three-legged race, like dragging one leg and like growling at people. I'll just make it into a zombie if that's how it turns out. Yeah, hands are always a work in progress. I feel like I've been, yeah, I don't know what I've been doing. I haven't really been drawing people like too much. This is not true, but I feel like I'm just every time I draw a person, I'm just starting from like zero knowledge again. I should turn on onion skins. Try to keep the torso kind of like relatively in the same spot. I know it moves, but it doesn't move that much. Yeah, I guess there's a ton of, I mean, there's a ton of learning resources out there for free. So I guess if I really wanted to, I have no excuse. For some reason, I was always like picturing anatomy, like this is something I learned like in like a drawing, like figure drawing sense, where I'm like in some like rustic building with like skeletons in front of me and stuff like that. I don't know why. I always like, it's because I missed out on that opportunity. I did not elect anatomy as one of my courses that I took in school. And I was always regretting. I'm like, man, I bet that was actually pretty dope. I think I mixed up my arm movements. I guess it's not too late. This is the sketch phase. Should be the opposite arm coming forward. Unless you run like this, where you're like cross-country skiing. That's a cool look, I think. But it's not very popular in the running community. Which I am very much a part of. But I'm an outcast because I run like that. I guess cross country skiing you alternate too, don't you? I don't know anything about sports, endurance sports. Cross country skiing, that does sound fun though. Could go for that. Snowshoeing can die. Snowshoeing is boring. Wacom takes a firm stance against snowshoeing. You can tell I was just trying to get a reaction from someone. I may have to redo this. This was a good like practice run, but I feel like I was like half paying attention to drawing. I think I could do it a little. I mean, I'm gonna do another pass, of course, but I'm already like, what is going on here? Boop, boop. How do leg work? I mean, I just think snowshoeing is fine. To be fair, I haven't gone snowshoeing anywhere like cool, and I'm sure you could. There's like great trails, amazing, sublime vistas that you can go snowshoe to only on snowshoe. But I think cross country skiing is more fun because you get a slide. And if you're me, you crash. I feel like, okay, so I'm probably gonna redraw this because this guide was actually like more harm than helpful. I think this was nice. Let's play it back and see. Let's delete this one. Like the perspective like changes at some point at the end one. This was a fantastic first attempt. Fantastic. And now I'm gonna do a better one. No. No. I almost pressed a button that would have destroyed everything. Lots of snow haters out there. Yeah, I would like some snow in Portland, but I don't know if it'll happen. It happens like every 4 years, I would say. How do we feel about tubing? Oh, like sledding with a tube? I'm about it. I am about it. It's fast. It can be scary. Oh yeah. It's snowing in Mexico? No way. I know it snowed in Madrid, which is different. Oh, interesting. That came off very condescending, but Beautiful. I am now jealous. Yeah, today is really warm and sunny, and that was nice. I walked outside for a second, but now I'm drawing, and that is what I'm going to continue to do. Let's turn that one off. Simple shapes. Keep it easy. All the places it normally doesn't. Simple shapes. It's hard. It's hard for me to do. I get it. You cartoon people. I get why you do it. It's not easy. You cartoon people. Yeah, I'm getting senile, as you can tell here. I'm losing viewers. I'm bleeding out viewers because I'm not drawing. Draw. This one's bad too. Use my previous drawing as kind of the sketch layer, and then I'm just going to refine it because I think I can salvage it more if I go off of this rather than try to just like go straight into a new one. Let's see. forgot how to. Oh, there it is. It was just hiding on my different monitor. I was like, where is the opacity? I know it's not that hard. First one was very like gestural, crazy. This one is sketchy but clean. There's a difference. And I think it's good to be like, do the kind of like iterative iteration kind of drawings where you do the same thing a few times until it looks good. I'm gonna try to keep this just like triangle. Okay. Trapezoid maybe. Squee! We just got a kettle like not that long ago. We were just boiling water in a pot like fools. I would also make fun of my partner because she puts water on medium on the stove, and you can tell me if I'm crazy, but I just feel like when you're trying to boil water, you want it as fast as possible to get to a boil. There's no sense in like making like al dente water. So I always blast it on high, and it's like a silly like back and forth, where she's like, well, I want time before it's ready. I just don't get it. We also have an electric stove, which usually has like some kind of food remnants on the coil, and then like it usually burns if it's at a hot temperature. So part of it is like she doesn't like smelling whatever like rice that is like stuck to the stove is like it's setting off the smoke detectors and stuff like that. But so she has a point beyond just having like medium rare water, but it's still funny. Still give her crap about it. Al dente water. Yeah. yeah, I had this like coworker at when I worked at an art retailer and art supply retail, and they like always preferred their water at like room temp. I did not get it, but they're like it's more nourishing if it's room temp. Like it hydrates you more, and like I can see, I guess like my like pseudo science understanding of like how that might be a thing, where it's like cold water would like sap energy from your body basically, but I was like that's just it's not the same. You gotta have that brisk water. It's the only way it quenches. Okay, effort to be more deliberate. Trying to stay clean here, as clean as possible. Some kind of arm foreshortening going on there. And this hand. So it would be good to do those little like kind of like guide lines. Let's make that. Make a new layer here. So put this one underneath. Kind of put these little like kind of like arcs down. Just to avoid creating any kind of like zombie hobble where it's like just like the legs are like flying like out to the side or something weird, like weird trajectory. So I think we'll just have these kind of like underneath. I want them to like converge. And we can do one with the arm. Okay, so everything like hands and feet try to stay on some kind of like axis that's similar. Space. Okay, let's keep that there. An hour. An hour has passed. And we have drawn a few frames, none of which are final. Give them little elf boots, little clogs. Let's see. I definitely didn't make it easy trying to do perspective on this. I do kind of want to keep the arm movements like kind of subtle. Hydrate. Oh my. Oh my. I have to drink 6 times. 5 times. 6 times. I finished. Bubbly. I'm almost out of bubbly, guys. Oh my. Oh my, Wacom Experience Center. That's amazing. Excuse me. I guess chugging a bunch of seltzer will get you. Elf boot. My neighbors are just like, what is he talking about? Elf boot. Only milk. Mm. This is looking promising. I'm concerned. I know that the head, I'm going to do this after, but with probably just like the transform tool to like squash and stretch this dude, but I know like there's a little head bobble. Head is not just stationary. I mean, it really has been a while. I think I've only done walk cycles, and even then it's been a while. And like the last one I did, I look at it now and I'm just like, that could use some help. Gotta sharpen these animation skills, or else they die. It's not true. All right, I'm just gonna draw. I kind of am tempted to just draw the arms and feet to make sure those are right first. Let's look at what I drew over here. Okay. That's interesting. Foreshortening. This should be a little more extreme. I want like the heel to be kind of a lifting off the ground. Maybe. That doesn't look like it. Sleeve needs to be straight. Where did my... Brick by brick, we build this house. Okay. I'm gonna leave out the like legs right now because the foreshortening is throwing me off slightly, but I can tell that the feet are in the right spot. It's a low bar for success, but that's what I have to go off right now. What was this? No. This last pose. I have a button that's just precariously close to an area that I put my cursor at, and it's just, there's like close document. It's good just to have a button that if you accidentally press it destroys your whole document. Just keep you guessing. I can't really go off that drawing because that drawing is trash. So let me look at my little reference again. I see. This is definitely only half of a run cycle, but let's do the other bit. All right, so running. Kind of in the tank right now. This is turns out requires some concentration, some brain power. I'm kind of just animating like where the hands are and where the feet are. And the body is just going to follow those, since those are kind of the driving force. I know, you can't get rid of these points. We need some big spender bracket where it's just 20,000 points. You get a new nib sent to you. Oh man, Dragon Force. I could use little high tempo guitar riffs to make me do this animation faster. I think one of the sides, I think this would be back to our first frame at this point. I'll delete that. Actually, I have to look up something that I forgot how to do, which is changing the like work area, I guess you would call it, in After Effects. But I just wanted to loop like a certain section of my timeline. And I forgot. Oops. This is weirdly complicated. Create a new layer and label it actions. Okay. The solution is just make everything not extend past where you need. And this should just loop. Okay. Doesn't quite loop, but I can imagine. Well, it is a run. Okay, now I'll kind of block in the rest of the limbs here. I know what kind of big, what are they called, viewer points? I'm gonna redeem some right now. Error. How dare you? I watch on my personal account so that it adds more followers. Wacom points. They're called Wacom points. How could I forget? Layer name. Okay. This one that I just spent so much time on, I will name Christopher. Christopher's layer. Back when, I mean, in the future when art historians are looking at the layers of my work, similar to how they, they'll like X-ray a Da Vinci painting and look at all the like underpaintings and like sketch layers and everything. They'll be X-raying my computer and they'll see in this document Christopher layer, and they'll be like, ah, yes, this confirms our suspicions. They were alive at the same time, and in fact, they were the same person. Christopher, Todd layer name. All right, well, let's see here. What did Megan do? Megan did mustache. Oh no. Here, I'll draw a mustache somewhere in there. You guys stop. I was already struggling with time. All right, I'll add a new layer. And it will be called, I'm gonna do kind of two birds with one stone, because we're cheap here. This will be called Todd, and it will be, let me see, let me redo it. I need to go here. This will be called Todd's stash. And for one frame, there will be a mustache. Just one frame. No, it's okay. I did it. I fulfilled the wants and the needs of the viewers. You, the viewers. All right. This one's good. We'll get it eventually. That looks like a real funky leg, but I'm into it personally. That'll be my defense for everything now. It's just like, well, I like it. Even though it's completely like, yeah. Next time I have to do something for work, I'll just be like, here you go. Here's the new schedule. And it's just like written on a sticky note that I photoed with like my phone. And I'll be like, well, I like it. The plot thickens. I wasn't paying attention to the chat. What up? I'm onto something. It's art. It is art. What is art? Just kidding. Don't ask that question. Don't you dare ask that question in this house. Oh, the sticky note. Yeah. Doesn't get more DIY than a sticky note. That's a new sentence. All right. This frame is not my favorite drawing. don't know what it is about this leg that is like closer. It's like the perspective is bothering me on the foot. It just needs to be like a little. See how this goes. Okay. It's like. I like your first attempt. You're like, it looks like you're reaching out with your tentacle to high five someone who kind of like wasn't ready for it. A fellow squid. What is that emote of you? What streamer is that? You have to find them. Yeah, you fully embraced that emote. I'm into it. I know Jess found one kind of that was like a lookalike of me. Semi lookalike. It was a little like yours is like drawn. I think this other one was more like photo looking, but it was pretty funny. What is this? Okay, so this leg needs to be like fully extended. Here's my guide. There we go. I like how my attempt of like, this is going to be the clean one. That's still very rough. There it is. What? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair. That one looks like me. The one above looks like me too. No, that looks more like Megan. Alright, man, I wish I just have to hit enter to like try to loop it. Okay, so there definitely needs to be more of like an up down, like the head needs to bobble, like the torso kind of needs to go up as well on an arc. And it would make, so let's see. Let's think about this. You're probably, it's probably the tallest when you are here with the leg like fully straight. And then it all goes downhill. So I'm just going to kind of fake this. But I guess you would also have to like walk around now. This is the only way. I'm like, I'm gonna Google when you're the tallest in the run cycle. I could just do it right here. This is the animation way. All right, by my diligent work, my investigative work, I've concluded that the highest point is actually here. And you're kind of making like the leap. Like that. And this would be the lowest. I know there's lots of info out there on run cycles. And I could have stood on the shoulders of giants and used that info that others have toiled over. But here at the Experience Center, we like to start from scratch. We like to reinvent the wheel every time. Aren't you? This is not working. we're reinventing how. No, I was I was just going off on a tangent. I was not being serious. We're reinventing how people think about art. No, I don't know. I was just talking about how I could have looked at a reference more detailed on how a run cycle works. But I instead got up from my chair and like walked around and deduced kind of like when the little moments of like the head bobble happen. Well now. Yeah, I think we can work with this. Am I going to paint this? Yeah, I will. I think it definitely needs probably another couple passes on it to get it to a spot where, and I guess I have to do all the in-betweens, but yeah, I think color. I would like to do color and maybe some kind of texture on it in After Effects or something. Yeah, I think that could be fun. Kind of matching my like bike animation I did recently. Kind of, I would like to do a similar treatment to that, which I can pull up here. I know people have seen it, but just for people who don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I would like to do a couple more passes on it to get like the line work looking solid, and then doing the in-betweens after that. So yeah, I guess the first step would be, what happened here? Oh, okay. I didn't see my cells for a second. I was very scared. It's like they all disappeared. Yeah, like these. What are these? Like 6 drawings, 5 drawings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First thing would be to like nail down these 6 drawings, these keyframes, and get them in a good spot, and then do the in-betweens from there to make the animation smoother. And then I think once I had all the line work locked down, I could either do kind of the flat color here in animate, which might be the way to go. I'll probably do the flat color here in animate, and then like, you know, maybe bring it over into Photoshop maybe afterwards, and like add some little frame by frame like textures or something. Yeah, that'll be the plan. Let's see. Like I was saying, let me just pull this up really quick if I can find it to show kind of what treatment I would be going for. Oh man, got a lot of files. In my that was deep in the folders. But yeah, like I think doing this one was a different process, I guess, but like honestly, now that I think about it, I mean, it was cool to try a different process. This was done with like shape layers in After Effects, but then I feel like with the amount of frame by frame that I did on top of it to like smooth it out and make it look kind of hand drawn, I was like, I maybe should have just done this all frame by frame. But I don't know. I think there's value to the process that I did. It was good to try at least, and I think it helped with like some of the transitions that I would have otherwise been pretty shaky on. So yeah, I'll probably try to do like a kind of flat color with texture thing on this as well, and I think that'll be gravy. So but yeah, thanks everyone for watching me draw this little run-in poses. I think like, yeah, those little arcs kind of help me out. I don't think they're kind of hard to see on the stream there, but there's just like some little guides you can draw kind of at the beginning to just help with like making sure everything like stays on a certain arc. Probably help with just like the movement and fluidity of it altogether. So yeah, this will be another work in progress. I love to have lots of little projects that are always loose ends. But I do want to finish this because I think it would probably fit well with that other little bike post that I just made. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Mind fog. I was having mind fog too. Thank you. It's looking sweet. Thank you guys for the compliments. I know. I need 2 more hours to get anywhere where I feel good about. But we made progress bit by bit. So I know this one went by fast. I know. I gotta work up our streaming endurance. I think if I started at like earlier, like noon or something, I could pull a 3 or 4 hour stream. No sweat. But we'll leave that to Christopher on Friday. Oh, there is snow. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, so sorry for the short one. I feel like 2.5 hours usually feels good to me, but this one I'm gonna call it here, just because I think it's a good stopping point before I jump into like refining the sketch, which is gonna be phase 2. So yeah, Christopher will be on Friday he's got a loose plan, just like I had for today. And we made something. So Christopher's going to be doing some like comics stuff on Friday, which will be rad. Doing some inking, perhaps. Maybe the plan has evolved. Who knows? But yeah, thanks everyone. Hope you are all doing well. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and yeah, stay in touch. Next week we are also doing a creative conversation on Wednesday with Gear, our friend Gear Duran, who does a lot of kind of crazy like hybrid, like across like several different programs. We'll do a lot of like Blender and like different 3D applications, and like print it out on paper after he does like a bunch of 3D renderings, and like project it onto a wall, and like he just has like a crazy like process that is like very involved, and so doing kind of a cyberpunk themed, not to be confused with the video game, but just cyberpunk as a genre, doing a giveaway. Is that, correct me if I'm wrong? We'll be doing posts about it, but if people tune in on Wednesday, is there a chance they can win a Wacom 1 device? Is that, I'm in my earpiece, I'm hearing that this is potential. Okay, cool. Via Gear's Instagram. Announcing the winner on the 20th. Okay, so check out our posts about it. Also, yeah, check out Gear Duran as spelt in the chat via Wacom, and look out for details on how to win a Wacom 1 device, which is a display tablet similar to a Cintiq but different. And yeah, check it out. Thanks, everyone. Again, we'll see you next time. Take care.